MupoEntertainment.com presents Brand Sharks. Chapter 2, Author Brandy Connor, The Extraordinary. Read by the co-author, Mike Duffy.
Hey, Mike Duffy here, co-author of Brand Sharks. We're reading you Chapter 2, The Extraordinary by Brandy Connor. Being an industry leader means doing what others refuse to do. It's late nights and it's uncomfortable most of the time. Being a leader means you force yourself to grow every single day. Every day you make the decision to be successful. Being a leader is making commitments and not wavering from them. And that means making the decision and affirming to yourself that no matter what, you will make it happen. With every goal or target I've had, the results have always taken longer than I wanted, but I was intent and focused. I told myself it didn't matter how long it took. The only thing that mattered was the commitment of making it happen. We make promises to ourselves every day. When we let ourselves slide, we teach ourselves that we don't have to follow through. It may seem trivial, but it's not. We tell ourselves it's not a big deal, but it is a big deal. It is everything. Every time you break a promise to yourself, you affirm what kind of person you are. Character isn't just something that happens to a person. We cultivate our character through experience and actions. A publication by Louise A. Mitchell titled Integrity and Virtue illustrates this beautifully, saying that character cannot be separated from the person. To be of good character means that one's habits, actions, emotional responses are all united and directed toward the moral and the good. In this, public actions cannot be separated from private actions. Both sets of actions affect one's character. What we accept in our lives expands to everything else. You have to build the muscle of follow through. You have to do the work so you can believe in yourself again. You have to commit to small things, form small habits, and do them over and over again. All of the small commitments you make to yourself that you follow through with reaffirming to yourself that you are a person who does what you say. As you exercise that muscle, you quickly start to believe in yourself and your capabilities. It is a belief that you establish in your mind and in your body that moves virtues from something you aspire to have to being part of you. You become a person who does what they say, and when situations arise in the future, you push yourself to rise to those occasions and follow through with the commitment. More important than anything is your promise to yourself, and you don't want to let yourself down. Every time you do what you say, you experience a win. That confidence you have built reaffirms that you are a person who wins, and no matter how much work or time or energy it takes, you are committed to the outcome. One of my favorite quotes is, "How you do one thing is how you do everything." Throughout the day, we are always making little decisions. Will you bring the shopping cart back or leave it randomly in the parking lot? You drop some trash on the ground unintentionally but decide to leave it or pick it up. You promise to call someone back and later make the decision whether or not to follow through. You see someone in need and decide to help. These small decisions reaffirm to yourself what kind of person you are. Ask yourself, what kind of person are you? You are a person who does the right thing. You do what you say, you show up when you say you will. When you choose to be lazy, to let people down, to not follow through, those decisions impact all areas of your life. These established habits define you and in turn your success in life, whatever it takes. As a child growing up in poverty, I felt powerless and helpless because my brothers and I were at the mercy of our parents and their day-to-day decisions. What would we eat that day? Where would we sleep? Would we be tucked into a warm, snuggly blanket at night or lie on the floor in a cold, dark room staring at the ceiling, questioning everything? I hated that life. I hated the uncertainty of that life, and I craved the stability and security I knew money could provide. Money could buy food. Money could pay for heat and water and lights. It was easy to see that money was the key to bringing security to my life, so I decided to do everything I could to earn money. As a child, I made homemade newspapers to sell to neighbors, snuck onto a golf course to sell soda pop, set up lemonade stands, you name it. I tried it, and every dollar I earned gave me one small moment of security. I went from feeling helpless to powerful. At age 13, I got my first real job at a pizza place. I worked for just over $3 per hour. I took every shift I could. I worked the maximum that was legal at that point in time for an underage worker. I worked and I saved, and I worked and I saved, but soon I faced another problem. As soon as I started to generate substantial income, that money began to be taken away from me by my parents. I would stash and store whatever money I could. I would buy food for my family, and when I had enough extra saved, I would buy something for myself. I remember coming home from school one day and finding my curling iron missing. I asked, "What happened to my curling iron?" I remembered my dad smirked and said, "We are eating it." I was devastated. Soon they began to sell or pawn every single thing I bought. I would hide money in the things I had bought before I left for school, but every time I would come back, it would be gone. I'm not sure if it was because my parents were not able or were simply not willing to, but it was clear that they weren't properly managing and generating income, and I felt it was okay to take it from me. One day, while I was at school, I was taken out of class. I was brought into a room with a child advocate from a child protective service agency. They sat me down and started asking me a lot of questions. They asked me how often my brothers and I would eat. They asked about our clothing, if we had enough to wear, and if we had running water, heat, etc. Afterward, the agency contacted my parents, and right away we packed up our things and left our home. This continued again and again and again. What I understand later was that child protection agencies are new county specific. So every time you move your residence, you have to start a new case. My grandparents were the ones who reported our family and continue to do so. Month after month, we would move, running from the agencies who wanted to remove my brothers and me from our parents. As a young teenager, I became so frustrated with having to continue to uproot and leave my friends. I wasn't able to form bonds and build relationships, but that wasn't the worst part. I remember many nights I would wake up cold and shivering, sleeping on the hard floor with a tickle of insects crawling over my body. Because we could not afford a vacuum or basic things to clean our home, our carpet was riddled with ants that would scavenge the floor at night and crawl across my body. Every day I wondered if we would have power to heat the house or water to shower and drink. I didn't even know from day to day what I would eat, aside from the one meal provided by the state college. I remember asking my parents why we had to live like that. Why did we have to sleep on the floor and have bugs crawling on us at night? Why were my brothers and I scavenging for food in neighbors' trash cans to find something to eat? Why didn't we have heat or electricity most of the time? I didn't understand. It seems so obvious to me. Why couldn't they just work and make money? Many times my mom would tell me, God is doing all of this to us now because one day we will win the lottery and everything will be better. I was only 12 at the time, but even then, I knew that wasn't right. I knew the world didn't work like that. We were not meant to sit and wait for something or someone to come and save us. The only person who could save us was ourselves. No one else. I made a commitment to myself at that moment. I told myself I wasn't a victim and I was done waiting. I would do whatever it took to be successful. As soon as I had the power to change my world, I would, and I would never allow myself to be in that situation again. I realized that as long as I was living with my family, I would not be able to rise up from that situation, and I would never be able to establish the true stability I desperately longed for. So at 15, I ran away from home. I called my aunt, telling her I could not take the current situation anymore and that I was going to run away. Hoping to keep me from living off the streets, she flew me to be with her in my hometown of Spokane, Washington. As soon as I arrived, the police picked me up and was placed in a group home for runaways and drug addicts. They housed me there while the courts decided what they would do with me. The judge said that because I was a minor, my parents could come and get me and take me back with them, but they couldn't even afford the plane ticket. So after having to stay temporarily with other relatives, the judge granted that my aunt received custody of me. In her care, I was able to enjoy a sense of security I had always longed for. I had a warm bed, food, and clothes. That solid foundation allowed me to start to flourish. In Washington state, the legal working age was 16. So as soon as I turned 16, I started searching for jobs and was able to get a job at an arts and crafts store. I was so thankful to have the job and the opportunity to earn money. I saved. And as soon as I was able to build a foundation of stability for my own young adult life. As soon as I could get my own apartment, I did. I quickly got a second job, and from there worked both jobs. Then I focused intently on my future and got my real estate license and bought my first house at just age 18. Many people told me I was too young to buy a house, but I knew it was possible, and if it was possible, I was intent on doing it. I called lender after lender explaining my situation. I explained that I'm a young professional, self-employed, hardly any money saved, but I knew I could make the payments, and I would do anything to have the opportunity. I spoke to over 15 lenders before I finally reached out to those who said they would consider lending to me. It was a first-time home buyer FHA program. No money down, stated income loan. Words cannot express how excited I was to hear. We have a loan program that I think would work for you. I was literally over the moon in excitement. Little did I know that little spark lit up so much excitement in my 8-year-old me and blazed a fire that would burn for the rest of my life. Not only was that moment pivotal in my path to become a successful real estate investor, but as a realtor, I was able to learn so much about business. At such a young age, those lessons were so powerful. I had to learn how to be my own boss. I made my own schedule. I had to be disciplined. I had to learn how to market myself, and I had to learn how to sell and how to be consistent to follow up again and again in order to finally find my clients their perfect home. I looked at the world and thought, as soon as I can, I will not wait for a second longer than I have to in order to get things I want. Everything is possible, and if it's possible, I can do it. The waiting and the powerlessness I felt as a child propelled me to jump into life with this excitement and eagerness to do all the things I couldn't do as a child. I bought my second home at age 19, my third at 21, and it just continued from there. It became almost like a game to me. It was a challenge, and as I pushed myself more and more, I began to win again and again. I gained so much confidence in those wins. When I got my first job at 13, win. When I was able to save more than I spent, win. When I was able to buy a house, win. I got high on the wins, and day by day, I trusted myself more. Many times, I would think about my life, and how hard it was as a child. I thought, if I could live through that, I could do anything. And you know what? You can too. Commit to being exceptional. To be an industry leader, you first need to be a leader in your own life. You need to make promises every single day to yourself and follow through with them. Allow yourself a chance to believe again. You are capable of incredible things, but your potential will only be revealed as you journey through the process of elevating yourself. Make the commitment to yourself that you are a person who does what they say. Be willing to do the work and do whatever it takes. People you know and who come in contact with you will admire the quality in you and want to support you and your mission. The mission of a leader is not just about winning. It's about much more. It's about doing what is right, doing whatever it takes, and not only elevating yourself, but elevating and empowering everyone who supports you and who is in alignment with you. We don't win in life alone. In order to be successful, we need a team. And it's critical that you select the right people. Having the correct people on your team is everything. Just one incorrect person can have a devastating impact. Just like a weed, a toxic person in a group can suffocate and stifle others around them. Be really selective in choosing your team members and understand that there will be many incorrect people. It is your job to weed them out. You have to be quick to eliminate those that are not in alignment with your vision, your goals, and your values. Winning in life and in business means we make it to the top of the mountain together. Their success is your success. At 24, I took my experience working in real estate with properties and in marketing and decided to build a directory where travelers could find bed and breakfasts. It was called Bed and Breakfast Stay. And in the process of building that website, I hired someone to integrate my customer database into my website. While working with him, he came to understand more and more about me and my vision. The website was created to help innkeepers and vacation homeowners get more visibility and more traffic to their properties. While working with me, he was working with a hotel owner who needed similar services, but for 3 of his hotels. So my contractor asked if I could help his hotel owner client. At this point in time, I felt like working with a hotel seems like such a big thing, but he thought the client could really benefit from what I was offering. So I put together a proposal and established a new company specializing in online reputation management, catering specifically to hotels. He liked my proposal, and I was able to earn his business for all 3 of his properties. When I started that business, I was eager to solve their problem. The client needed a solution, and I was committed to giving it to them. But instead of just thinking about solving their singular problem, I wanted to make a massive impact on their businesses. If I can solve their problem, that is great. But I don't want to just gain a customer for today. I wanted to gain a client for life. This was a lesson I learned as a child. If I work to earn money for today, it is gone tomorrow. But if I work smarter and build a business that continues to bring in revenue, I can receive more dependable income in every single month, and that is only possible if you provide an exceptional product or service. I was confident that if I made it my intention to really make a big and positive impact on my clients' businesses, I would do whatever it took to provide that solution. And if I didn't know yet how to solve their problems in an extraordinary way, I could learn. I saw areas of improvement as an opportunity, and I was excited at the thought that someone was willing to give me a chance and trust me enough to trade their money with my services in hopes that I could solve their problem. I wanted them to feel like they made the decision. By going above and beyond their expectations, I thought, if I do this right, I have the chance to keep this client for life. Being an industry leader is taking things one step further and being extraordinary. It's not just solving the problems at hand, it's about stepping back to understand the client's entire situation and challenging yourself to find ways to propel their business further in their desired direction. Approaching a situation in this way is exponentially more powerful than just doing what they ask. It is your job as a professional and as someone who strives to truly be successful to understand not only what the client says he wants, but to know the motivation behind the desire and identify what you can do to take that client to the next level. If you provide exceptional value and truly invest in the success of your clients and your team, you will not have to worry about the money. It will follow in abundance. Make sure they remember you. If your ideal client doesn't know who you are, it is not possible for them to do business with you. So you need to establish a firm and dominant presence in the mind of your prospective clients. Because I understand this, I do everything in my power to be known in my space. I attend trade shows, send emails, make lots of calls, send video and text messages, do client site visits, create content, share videos, share tips, run ad campaigns, interact in relevant Facebook groups, and so much more. As John Maxwell says, consistency compounds. One of my favorite tools to use in prospecting is called Cliently. Cliently is a super powerful all-in-one tool for engaging with prospects and clients in a really unique, customizable way. You can create a custom flow that can include email, video messages, postcards, handwritten notes, and gifts. With this tool, you can schedule everything in advance as far out in the future as you want. This unique system of follow-up is amazing and will absolutely set you apart from your competition. I recommend making a short list of VIP clients and creating custom video messages that you schedule out for the year. You can sit down and create different videos. Some can be sales related, seasonal, holiday related, asking how you can serve them better, asking if they have anyone they recommend. You can focus for a week on creating content and putting together campaigns that will go out for the entire year and let it run on autopilot. Just make sure you set a reminder for yourself so you know when the messages go out, so you are ready to receive the calls, texts, or emails you will receive back response. Sending an email, making calls to follow up, shaking a hand, all of these may seem really simple when you do them at the moment, yet those things compound. If you are intentional in your actions and add value to the people, they will remember you. Flash forward 10 years from when I first started my journey, and now I walk into a conference or trade show and it feels like everyone knows me. I am inundated with recognition. Hey Brandy, I get your emails all the time. Hey Brandy, I really love your videos. Hey Brandy, we're friends on Facebook. When people know you, especially for the good things you are doing, it becomes so much easier to build a business. If you are able to solve a problem and you are prevalent and persistent in your approach, you will become a leader in your space. Every day you must make it your intention to touch as many prospects as possible. Identify who your niche is. Don't target just anyone who has a business. You should identify a very specific market. For some, it may be easy to identify your niche. For others, it may be more about presenting your solution to different groups and finding out who is the most receptive and then narrowing your focus. First, think about who your perfect client is. That target client should be someone who you enjoy working with, someone who gets your vision and who is responsive to your offer. You may have what you consider a great idea, but the market you are pushing to may already have vendors who provide great solutions to their problems. In that case, you have to be different or do more in order to stand out. I would advise that the best way to establish your niche is to go to events and trade shows related to your target industry. Present your offer and see the response. Ask a lot of questions to find out what the problems people have, which relate to skills and services you can bring to the table. I cannot overemphasize this enough. Listen to your prospective clients and move in that direction. Let the masses speak for themselves and let them show you what they need. Next, ensure the clients you are chasing do in fact have access to the funds needed to be able to afford your product or service. Good tip. You may have great solutions, but it may be too expensive of a solution for the clients who are interested. In that case, you need to find out how to make your solution more cost-effective for the client or target a different clientele. You also need to have a viable way to access those customers regularly. If your target client is hard to reach, it will be hard to become known in the space and deliver your message. One way I ensure my team and I are always reachable is by utilizing text message campaign. My favorite tool for this is Text Magic. Text Magic is an awesome tool for scheduling and sending mass text messages. I've used this tool for follow-up and to send holiday greetings or just touching base messages. It's great because prospects can call or text back, and then anyone from your team can reply to ensure there's always an open line of communication between you and your clients or prospects. Word of caution. Be mindful not to overdo these. If you send any kind of messages too frequently, the prospects will get annoyed in the event that you become that you come across as spammy, but if you use this approach correctly, it can be a really powerful way of keeping in touch and starting a conversation. Be sure to check text message laws and regulations prior to sending any campaigns. For me, my primary focus for my initial point of contact has always been trade shows. Trade shows and conferences are perfect because it gathers that specific customer client into one space. So if you are consistent and intentional at the events to establish your presence, that effort will compound. You will become known in the space as a leader for that industry. The more you show up, the more confidence or rapport you have built with your target audience. It will earn you the opportunity to present your solutions and earn their business. And each encounter with a prospect, make it your intention to ask for and collect their information. This information you will use to follow up regularly through the year through email, text, etc. Once you have prospect information, make sure you save that information in a CRM. My two favorite CRMs for startups are Capsule and OnePage. Capsule and OnePage CRM. Capsule is really nice because you can really customize it based on whatever industry you're in. It is really versatile and you can customize everything for any industry. OnePage CRM has a super clean interface that is really simple. When you reach out to a prospect, it automatically gives you an option to schedule the next follow-up. It also has a pipeline feature to see at a glance the value of those leads in your pipeline, and it has a speed dialer that can auto-call leads one by one until somebody picks up the call. I connect with a lot of leads on Facebook, so I add their Facebook profile URL and Messenger URL to their contact information. So when I am on the app, I can just click on their HTTPS URL, and it takes me directly to send them a direct message on Facebook. I return to the app and then mark the follow-up complete and can quickly move to reach out to the next prospect. Once you have a database of prospects, take the time to create a marketing plan that allows you to follow up with the prospect regularly. Did you know it takes 7 to 12 touches to convert a lead to a client? Utilize everything from email, SMS, social media, phone calls, personal visits, etc. to stay on top of mind for your prospect. When they are ready for your product or service, you or your company should be the first thing they think about. My favorite follow-up tools for email campaigns are GMass and Yam. GMass and Yam. I use Google Workspace for myself and my team. Within Google Workspace, you can set up your email with your custom domain such as name@yourcompany.com. When your team logs in, it just looks like Gmail, but it's a workspace with a lot of features. Once your email is set up, for less than $200 per year, you can send email campaigns up to 1,500 prospects per day with Yam and 2,000 per day with GMass. These two methods for sending email campaigns have delivered me constantly high open and response rates. Typically, I get over a 60% open rate. That's pretty good. That is because the emails are sent out one by one and custom to each recipient. The emails are sent directly from your email workspace and not in bulk. You're able to add tags or placeholders for the prospect's name, etc. to customize each email. You are only drafting the message one time, but it's sent to all your prospects systematically, and it pulls a date from a Google Sheet, so it makes it super easy to see who opened, clicked, etc., and even target in a way that subsequent campaigns only go to just those who opened, clicked, or didn't open. GMass is a bit more expensive, but it has a lot more features. It has sequences and follow-ups, and you can create many drafts of emails and schedule to automatically send the next message to the prospect based on their interactions, such as opening the emails. You can also schedule out in advance messages to send on autopilot. Keep in mind that whenever you commit to being a leader in your space, as powerful as it is to be known within an industry, it also carries great responsibility. If you deliver on your promises, the word travels fast and you can earn referral business forever. But if you fail to provide what you promise, that message will travel so fast as it will crush you. This goes back to having the correct team and being committed to doing whatever it takes to make your clients happy. There will be bumps along the way, especially in the beginning, but what a client will remember is your readiness to correct the problem to ensure they are happy. Your target should never be to meet expectations. Your target should be to knock it out of the park. Start the relationship committed to solving the problem, but set the target to exceed expectations. Give so much value to the client that they feel that what you delivered is worth many more times than what they paid. Your intention should be to make them so happy with what you have provided that they will say what you delivered to them is worth much, much more than what they paid. We all inherently know what it looks like to give the minimum and what it's like to really go above and beyond. Sometimes going above and beyond with the actual product or service by actually giving more. Throwing in more of the product at no additional charge, or providing extra add-ons, or bumping out the services for an extended period at no additional charge. But other ways could be just providing more in terms of the service you provide. Make sure that from the initial point of contact, showing you are truly invested in the client, asking a lot of questions, being accessible, answering their calls or emails right away, following up to make sure they know you care about them and want to solve their problem or make their life easier. After the sale, give more of yourself by keeping in touch to see how they are enjoying the product or service and see if you can service them more or better in any way. Be exceptional in every way possible. One great way to provide added value is to create lots of helpful or informational content. A few awesome tools I use to create and share content are Photify, Lumen 5, and OneStream. I love Photify for creating social media and website image content. This is a phone app that has tons of free images and customizable text overlays to make your images or video posts look amazing. You can overlay with text specific to your company with your logo or use it to create a holiday or seasonal image posts. It's free to use with premium options for only a few dollars. I highly recommend it for creating attention-grabbing content that adds value. Lumen 5. Lumen 5 is really amazing because it creates instant marketing videos based on RSS feeds, websites, and blog articles. If you have a content writer for your website, this is an amazing tool because you can save the RSS feed URL, and whenever a new article posts on your site or any site, it will automatically create an awesome video from the content. Alternatively, you can add any website URL, blog URL, etc., and it can create the video on the spot. You can customize everything and make some really beautiful content. Combine that with the informational how-to type videos and schedule them out in advance with OneStream to share your content across multiple platforms easy and effortlessly. OneStream.live. OneStream offers unlimited live streaming for free. With the free version, you can only schedule one video at a time, but if you create a folder on your computer or within Google Drive or Dropbox or similar, you can set a reminder and schedule to send out every video on a specific date or time. On the day you want the video to post, you can just upload the video, choose what platform you want to post video to post to, and that's it. Paid versions let you schedule them automatically, but to start, you can try the free version and go from there. Delivering value to a client at an incredibly high level will guarantee they will tell their friends and family about you, and that will propel the success of your business. Aim high. In today's day and age, people are so used to getting less than what they paid for. If you do so, you will make yourself stand out in the crowd and secure your position as leader. My hope is that this information and my story can inspire and help propel you and your business to the next level. We all have a past, but it is what we chose to do today and every day that defines us. Don't settle for a mediocre life. In everything you do, be extraordinary. Surround yourself with extraordinary people, take extraordinary action, provide extraordinary value, and commit to building an extraordinary life. Delivering value to a client at an incredibly high level will guarantee they will be your friends and family around you, and that will propel the success of your business. That's chapter 2 I just read, and that's Brandy. So follow Brandy Connor on Facebook and any other social media platform. She has a TV show.